Hello everyone, Richard here for a replay of Vyazma for Ultimate Mode. I've been busy replaying the Grand Campaign with some modifications to for a more optimized core. Let's put it that way. And you've been seeing some of that. Like I showed a live play of the first 4 scenarios of 39, Warsaw. Spoils of War, Albert Canal. Oh, I didn't do Albert Canal. I was having trouble getting the live play. Mabuish, I think I did a live play, and I was having trouble with Dijon. But, what was I going to say? This isn't a live play, but this is something I'm going to show you that I've actually strategically optimized this map. The only improvements that might happen are at a tactical level, but I broke this map. It's kind of funny because I've shown a couple of other attempts. Let me show the map here, where I broke the map by using bridge engineers, and I did it in 2 different ways. One bridge engineer down here, it's on my double Rommel, I think. I showed breaking this map that way. And on Ultimate Mode, I put a bridge engineer up here and crossed and kind of bullied my way into Vyazma, and I used the trenches against the enemy. However, I'm gonna break this map very thoroughly. It's extremely robust. The amount of RNG is extremely low. And the trick is exploiting trigger mechanics. So trigger mechanics are hidden settings that you don't see unless you go in the map editor. And the only 2 relevant trigger mechanics you should know about are related to this hex and this hex. If you seize this hex, the counterattack group over here activates and attacks. If you seize this hex, the counterattack group over here activates and tries to get here. What I want to do is bully my way through and seize this objective as fast as possible. I have my Crotchetson in the south, so I want to trigger the defenses around this area to come forward. After I beat them as fast as possible, my Crotchetson just goes to the south. After de-entrenching this enemy, you boot them out with the Crotchetson. And it should be pretty safe to do this unless it's extremely rainy on the later turns, which can happen. So my strategy is extremely low RNG, very robust, assuming you don't get too much rain. And unfortunately, you can get a crazy amount of rain on this map. I've had like 8 of my first 10 turns be rain. And you just have to completely retry if that happens. And of course, the paratrooper drop on Moscow. I bring a Pioneer to the back with a paratrooper, and we easily seize this objective. And then I take the rest of my forces and I just scoot over in the north. That's it. And I have a scout who picks this up and is ready to seize this at a moment's notice. And what's nifty about this is you only have like 1, maybe 2 infantry you have to worry about. But this one probably won't activate. This one will, because I'm crossing in such a way that he's going to see me. So your entire eastern front is protected, because there is no counter-attacking group coming. And because of that, you can expose your artillery and other things over here and just kind of remove that first line of defenders and then close in. And I have my movement plus 188 gun with me. And that's it, really. We're going to seriously break this map. It's absolutely repeatable unless the weather is shit. Let's see, I had a Panzer with a couple points of overstrength, and I put him in the south to take care of the T-34. There's some other things I should mention. I have a couple of Wolframen. I'm going to say some things that's probably not going to shock some people, but everybody playing Ultimate Mode doesn't have the right core composition. You have to go really heavy on strong artillery. And on top of that, we have to have the right heroes in our artillery. We need movement +1 and range +1 artillery heroes and attack heroes. If you get those kinds of heroes it's going to allow us to have easier time in ultimate mode. I think that we're all struggling because on our original attempts because our heroes are not right. It's too difficult without the right heroes. So you see I have a bunch of range +1 artillery. I put all of my range +1 to the north. So I have to be careful. You will activate tanks and other stuff if you show something tempting around the hex, so you have to be careful on how you're moving things. You could put something on the hex, and that's okay, because I think it's out of range of the BT. So you're going to see some seriously abusive mechanics here. I have 5 artillery pieces, 2 17 centimeters. Their job is to suppress that so I can attack it. And they have a lot of overstrength. And the overstrength being lost on the Panzerjäger doesn't matter because I'm upgrading them soon. This is the last battle I'm using the Panzerjäger. The tank will reinforce. That's Rondorf down there. One improvement I think I would like to do is get my defense +4 mountain unit forward. I think it would have made some RNG elements less if I had done that. I'll point it out when it happens. I have Oladir with me. I think he's pretty important for this map. I'm flying 2 fighters north, and I have 2 anti-aircraft guns to help take care of the Air Force. There's my 88 showing up. Now my Panzerjäger can finish it off. And that, my friends, is how you bully that T-34 out of the way. And now my Panzer IVs can go forward. So in turn 3, I've destroyed that T-34 and the artillery piece, so this whole position is crippled. I'm already in turn 3 starting to de-entrench. You can see I have a lot of units down south, and that's because I want to defeat the counterattack as quickly as possible. Up north, I can take my time. Because I don't have a counterattack in my face, so... And the reason is because I never took that hex until the final turn. So on turn 3, I'm already attacking northern Vyazma. I want the guards destroyed because they're the most annoying and they provide the most vision. And they're heavily entrenched, so I have to dig them out. Still muddy on turn 4. Now I have to prepare for this air attack. That's why I have 2 fighters up north. I'm also going to dispatch. I have Rudel with me, and he is going to just wipe out this anti-aircraft gun. So now it's really safe in this region. All the support got vaporized. And just like that, the enemy doesn't see much. I seize that objective, so it should activate the southern attack group. I'm backing off here because there's an airstrike that's probably coming. They can see the mountain unit, for instance. Look at all of that artillery. It's gross. Just to bully that unit. So they can see the mountain unit and they got trapped. Oh, what is that? So the two fighters got trapped, which is good. I want to attack with a fighter because I want my 88 to go in attack mode. And by the way, that's it for the Air Force. There is no more Air Force you have to deal with. And you're probably going, what the hell are you talking about? The other Air Force activates if you seize that hex. And you betcha I exploited that. Because I have range +1, I can start pounding these infantry positions ahead of time. I know a counterattack's coming, I just need to... Brutal can operate wherever he wants, practically. You actually have... You can go a little more forward. I think you just can't go past this forest. So the Sneaky Pete stuff is happening in the back. And you always... I think it's helpful to have the level bomber de-entrench. And then my paratrooper, that's my attack +2 paratrooper, so he's just gonna rip soft the targets apart. Seizing that objective was not helpful, and that led to a problem later that I will point out. So I'm absolutely ripping these units apart. And I have Rudel helping me, which is great. These Wolf Ramen, man, they make a huge difference. You need to have Wolf Ramen on ultimate mode. Probably Manstein too. So now I want to rip that guard a new one. I have Wernsberger down here to get experience. I think Wernsberger hits 2 stars after Vyazma. With the guards out of the way, they can't see the artillery. You'll eventually get that artillery piece because you've got 2 units on it. So the first line of defense is finished on turn 7. I'm getting my defense +4 mountain unit and Oladir in there, but I think Oladir should have gone in the trenches, and the defense +4 should have gone in the forest, because that was the target the enemy artillery picked. And you run the risk of Oladir dying here. So that's a tactical improvement. If you don't have a defense hero, then you have to risk Oladir. I don't know if there's a better way to do it. I didn't see one. This is an ambush because I know that the scout's going to see the artillery. My mistake was not backing up Rondorf with artillery. That Wolframen should have come back to support Rondorf, and that would have avoided damage, I think. You'll take 0 to 3 damage. So you can lose Oladir here. It's probably like 15 to 20% chance. There's got to be a way to do that better, but strategically this is the correct way to play it. And I keep Rudel in the south because it allows me to clean things up much faster. You can use that as a surrender spot. I had my other Panzer IVs clean up for that tank. That's my defense +2 SE infantry. So I want to damage the KV so I can focus on other things. Because I have to approach the city. So I'm shoving everything back. I realized I had I didn't have the correct position. I needed the Grenadier in the hills, and it would save me from getting outflanked. You'll see I had a creative solution to this problem soon, because I have to worry about that tank outflanking me. So you can see the enemy's completely tied up. I'm now preparing the level bomber to go south. And then I see a surrender opportunity. Removing that T-34 solves a lot of problems. That's a T-34-41 as well. So, what's happening here? And you actually get good prestige for that, too. That's my defense +4 mountain unit. So you can see I can surrender yet another tank. The weather has been super cloudy, but so I'm pretty robust at cloudy. I think we've only had 3 rain turns. So on turn 9, that entire attack is wiped out. So the Crotchetson is allowed to just run. And I will begin de-entrenching this turn. And the soft target units are moving north, where there's a lot of soft targets. This is brilliant, because I'm going to smash Vyazma from 2 different directions. And all the hard targets get pulled north, which is where I have my specialized units to deal with it. And all the soft targets get evaporated in the south, where my Panzer IVs are. Oh, and that was excellent bait. Poor conscripts. Moscow falls, turn 10. You have to seize that after you take it so that the conscripts don't go in. So the KV was in artillery mode, so the 88 gun has to show up and give it a bad time. I'm like farming. I've solved this map so well, I'm farming. And I've closed on Vyazma on turn 10, and now I'm gonna like vaporize the defenses. So I'm offering I'm not offering anything. Oh, before I ran into the problem, my artillery was exposed, so I had to rearrange my units so this would be not a problem. And the only consequence is that Kesha is going to have a bad day, but I've seized Vyazma, essentially. And there's this really dangerous tank that I'm going to pull up. I was really surprised the scout attacked Wernsberger. I did not see that coming. So that KV wrecked Kesha. That was a trap to pull the tank towards me. I left that hole and I pulled all the tanks in. And the AI falls for it again. It's just gross. So I have a movement +1 paratrooper who's just going to snatch some things because he can. So you can see I pulled all the armor north and the soft targets south. It was a devastating combination. My anti-tank, my towed anti-tank is getting some kills. Boom. And then my grenadier shows up. The armor is disappearing. I pull Kesha out because he did his job. My defense +4 mountain unit just ripped them apart. And the 88 destroyed it. So one more dangerous unit is taken care of. The enemy is just like, I don't know what it's thinking, because I am seriously beating the hell out of it. I'm like basically farming the enemy at this point. and they can't see Rondorf, so I've taken all their vision away. And man, you can just see I'm racking up a lot of kills on the 88. Now I just have to take care of their air defenses. And I'm squeezing in value with my anti-tank, which is always nice. Force a surrender. Just utterly, that's my attack +3 Grenadier. Just utterly ripping them apart. That movement +1, 88, is just crushing. I probably got like 80 kills or something with that guy this scenario. He's just killing stuff. Like, it's mad. Now I'm blinding them. I hope I can ambush some things. Well, actually, they can see my Panzerjäger, so never mind. And then the other 88 arrives. It's just nasty. I think they can only see my Panzerjäger in the trenches. And now I'm just farming. Yeah, so there's an improvement I can show you next turn. There's a rail link that on turn 14 I could have used to grab an open hex. So the tank just walked right in that. And they attacked my defense +4 mountain unit in the trenches. I was really surprised by that. I guess it's not close defense, so maybe that makes sense. But still, defense +4 protects you from a lot of damage. And just look at that juicy KV sitting there. I didn't get a lot of suppression, so I had to use Rudel. So the last of the armor over here is gone. Look at me just mopping up. I even have time to take care of this anti-tank. So what I missed, 1 second. Let me, stop. What I missed is that there's a rail link here. No, here, that would have gone up on turn 14 to here, and then on turn 15, I could have seized it. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and this guy can't even reach me. So on turn 15, I could have seized it and grabbed that prestige. The other thing I think I messed up is I might have enough time. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I had been more efficient with this guy, he could have grabbed this hex on turn 15. So there's 24 prestige I left on the table. But this airfield and these 3 objectives I ignored, and these 2. But yeah, so there's some small tweaks I could have done. As you guys can see, I'm actually just I'm really busy. I'm just ripping things apart. And if I would have gotten the anti-tank, but he could retreat onto the bridge. But yeah, I almost took out the anti-tank too. Actually, I could have taken out the anti-tank if I just bounced it around. That's pretty crazy. This is a really efficient way to mop up. So these 3 planes and these 6 units are all activate if you seize this hex. So I took out 9 units that I never had to worry about. And I should have been able to... Actually, when I was here, when I seized this objective, I should have... 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I probably could have gotten both. And at most, the level bomber might have attacked me. Because I think they're all in attack mode. So that might be a problem. Because if they see something to attack, they activate. But they don't actually push forward automatically until you seize this objective. If I were to put like a truck here, all of these guys would activate. So I took out a lot of units. There's only like 4, 5, 8, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 23. There's only 26 units left. That's pretty good, if you ask me. But yeah, the trick to the map is to just not seize this hex. Aggressively surge forward, take the counterattack in the south out as fast as possible, Send your Crotchetson ahead, who has fast movement, to de-entrench this ahead of time while you're waiting. Take your soft targets, soft destroyers, put them in the south. You're going to hit the underbelly of Vyazma and then push them against the river. Good hard targets like movement +1, 88, my Panzer III, and my anti-tank showed up for this battle, and they will take out the hard targets. Infantry close in and wipe out the artillery. And everything else is just pretty straightforward. We had a lot of cloudy weather, which wasn't great. So this is Vyazma. You might want to hold on to your hats, because I'm going to take this idea and I am going to break Streets of Moscow, and it is going to be the most dominant Streets of Moscow you're ever going to see. And strategically, Streets of Moscow is just broken. Like, I think that it cannot be optimized any further at a strategic level. There's just some small tactical improvements. But so hold on to your seats, because the next video I'm going to show you is jaw-dropping, and the way I broke the map is based on this trigger mechanic. So I'll get into that in the next